La noche se acabó, pero tengo otra vez contigo. Le doy gracias a Dios, siempre pasándolo contigo en la playa, devorarte como el sol de la mañana, viajando todo el día sin drama, solo tú y yo. Un día bonito lleno de alcohol, tomar un shot para ti, un shot para mí, un shot. Un día bonito lleno de alcohol, tomar un shot para ti, un shot para mí, un shot. Siempre lo pasamos bien lindo, lindo. Un verano contigo lindo, lindo. Ey. Me fui de vacaciones, baby, me perdí, buscando el sabor que encontré en ti. Canela con dolor de Bacardi, lo sentí, baby, me tiene desenfocado, viendo doble, bien borracho, demasiado jodido contigo. Pasándolo contigo en la playa, devorarte como el sol de la mañana, viajando todo el día sin drama, tú y yo. Un día bonito lleno de alcohol, tomar un shot para ti, un shot para mí, un shot. Un día bonito lleno de alcohol, tomar un shot para ti, un shot para mí, un shot. Un día bonito, bonito, un día bonito, bonito. Pasándolo contigo en la playa, devorarte como el sol de la mañana, viajando todo el día sin drama, solo tú y yo. Un día bonito lleno de alcohol, tomar un shot para ti, un shot para mí, un shot. Un día bonito lleno de alcohol, tomar un shot para ti, un shot para mí, un shot. Un día bonito lleno de alcohol, tomar un shot para ti, un shot para mí, un shot.
I think the sound is being a little bit strained. Okay, I think it's all right now. I think it's all right. It's just on. Do let me know how I sound. It's just like on my end. There's a lot of like lagging. I think StreamYard is quite a heavy software to use. Granted, I actually haven't had any issues with it on this laptop until today. Today I'm getting a little bit of lagging, so we're gonna see what that's about. But just let me know at least if I just sound bad. If I sound okay, then it's not a big deal. So I'm just gonna wait for your messages and just let me know how I sound before we carry on. Because if it's bad, then I'm gonna have to figure out how to change that. Okay, so resistors, you said I sound okay. Any other comments on the sound? Mina, I sound good so far. Okay. As long as I sound good, then I can figure out what on earth is going on in the back end later. Right, I am back. I'm happy to say the writing project that I was behind on because my laptop had stopped working. I actually finished the bulk of it today. So please do excuse my absence. I will be back more regularly, but this is one of the deepest projects I've ever worked on, probably one of the most meaningful projects that I've ever worked on. And it's very much in line with certain things that are going on right now concerning women and violence against women. And it's, yeah, I actually can't wait to share it with you guys because it means a lot to me. And I hope that it will actually make a huge difference in women's lives. But back to royal stuff. I just wanted to explain like why I'd been not so active. Back to royal stuff. A lot has been going on, hasn't it? I mean, is there really a time when a lot isn't going on? But here we are. Okay, let's do a little bit of a rewind and then we will catch up. Also, I am aware of an article that came out in The Guardian regarding the Sussex children and the passports, but I actually want to do a whole video on that. Maybe like a whole separate podcast because I have a lot to say. So don't worry, I haven't actually missed that story. I've just wanted to actually do a whole podcast on it on its own. Right. So Meghan's actually gone up. She's gone up 700,000 followers on the gram after Lily's posts, the dancing post that went like mega viral all over the place, and then Lily's birthday at Disneyland. And like I said on Twitter, you just know the Daily Mail is trying to find the Disney actors' wigs stylist for a quote. Heck, they're probably trying to find that wig that Disney princess was wearing for a quote. They want a quote from the wig because that's how desperate these people are. You know, watching these images and videos and just seeing how much joy and peace that the Sussex family have right now, it feels like such a victory. Because everybody was, well, the establishment, I will say, not everyone, the establishment was just working overtime from day one. They didn't even want this couple to date the moment they found out that they were dating, let alone get married, let alone have a child, let alone have 2 children. And now we're enjoying days with the family at Disneyland. They were actually there with some friends, by the way. I won't say which ones because those that know. They blurred out the faces of their friends also. Also, people were wondering how they got around Disney. Disney does actually have underground tunnels for VIPs, and also a lot of the backstage work, moving things around so that you know, people who come to the park, they don't see all that, you know, all the technical stuff that happens. They can take them through VIP tunnels, and they can also like stop rides momentarily so that VIPs can like have a moment on the rides without queuing up for too long. You can actually rent a whole Disney park, by the way, in case you got a few change. I think it's like they start from like 100,000 to 500,000 to rent the whole park. There's also a very secretive club at Disney. It's called Club 33. It's very difficult to get into. There's quite a few celebrities are part of this club. There's not really a whole lot about it online. But I thought that was also very interesting, and I'm wondering also if they're part of Club 33. But I'm so just happy they were able to just get around and no one took pictures. In fact, I'm even wondering, was the Lily dancing video like a distraction? And so they were able to get around Disneyland. Nobody really took any pictures. And the press was so distracted by that, they weren't even checking for this. And then here are the front pages. They actually, the Disney photos made it to the front pages. You know what's not been on the front pages? William and Kate. This is a screenshot, by the way, of the ITV TikTok. 16 million views for Harry and Meghan's video. 152K views for the William and Kate's video. I mean, there's just no comparison. There's no comparison. And they got the front page just for going to Disneyland. Meanwhile, William is claiming that he is going to save the polar bears, bring peace in the Middle East, stop homelessness, save the oceans. The royals are in trouble. I don't know what they're gonna do once Charles is dead, and how they're gonna handle themselves. And this is why the royal reporters have been writing all these really strange, cryptic articles about we're not ready for William yet. I don't think William is ready for King William, because how do you compete with being overshadowed by a dancing video? And the thing is when the tabloid press react with this faux outrage about anything Harry and Meghan do, they are actually erasing anything Kate and William do. So there will be blanket coverage about Meghan was dancing around while pregnant, and you don't even know what it was William said in Monaco. You maybe don't even know that William was in Monaco. Victoria Arbiter is apparently still getting hired. Why, I don't know, after she was disgraced. At least she's found her eyelashes, though. That's one good thing. She was doing this interview with some news anchors down under. And the the male news reporter was ready to start a fight. I think that he is low-key a squaddy, because you could tell that he was really holding it back. Like, he wanted to insult her. So we're going to play the audio, because I can't play the video. I'll probably get done for copyright. We're going to play the audio and just listen to what this guy had to say, and then we will come back.
Question the wisdom in releasing this to the public.
I don't know. It's just so normal.
I know, for once I actually felt like
come on.
Meghan was relatable. A woman that I don't think most women find.
I mean, it's
that
easy
relatable.
for me to say from afar, but I would say get over yourselves. Like, you know.
What, Meghan and Harry?
No,
the UK generally.
The UK press, you know, I'm just so, I'm livid. I'm livid. I mean, the late Queen did used to say, never complain, never survive. I mean, it's not the 1800s. Come on. I mean, everyone's using social media. I just feel like we should celebrate people being themselves. And if
they want to be relevant...
Like, so be it. No?
What's
next for the Sussexes?
I like them more this week, I got to say. I think we've hammered that home, that we're kind of on board with this. I would have liked to have been a fly on the wall when King Charles first laid eyes on that video. We'll never know his reaction.
Question the wisdom in releasing.
Yeah. I mean, you can hear the frustration in his voice. We'll play that again, and this time I'll actually do some commentary. One sec.
Question the wisdom in releasing this to the public.
I don't know. It's just so...
So the first thing you hear there is Victoria Arbiter saying, I question the wisdom of them releasing this to the public. This is how pompous these royal reporters are. I question the wisdom of releasing a dance video to the public. Is Victoria Arbiter going to question the wisdom of having Andrew lead the family into the church? Andrew being at the Easter church ceremony. on Jesus' day, a whole friend of Epstein. Is Victoria Arbiter going to question the wisdom of that? Of the brazen way Andrew is being put front and center even after the passing of Virginia Giuffre? Is Victoria Arbiter going to question the wisdom of Charles and William being slumlord landlords? Is Victoria Arbiter going to question the wisdom of anything that the other royals are doing?
Normal.
I know, for once I actually felt like
on.
Meghan was relatable. A woman that I don't think most women find.
I mean, it's easy
relatable.
for me to say from afar, but I would say get over yourselves. Like,
yeah, the tabloids just need to get over themselves. Also, I disagree with her, and I do find that it tends to be the Karens who keep saying this. You know, Meghan isn't related. I mean, I don't think she was trying to be rude there, by the way, but you know, this whole thing about, you know, Meghan not being relatable. She's not relatable to y'all. Okay? Stop saying that she's not relatable to some people, to a lot of women, regardless of color. But for many women of color, she's very relatable. Her experience is relatable. Stop saying that Meghan isn't relatable. There is a lot about her experience that is relatable. Okay, I'm not going to play that again, but you get the gist. Everybody, I think, with any sense, is starting to see how ridiculous it is that every time Harry and Meghan breathe, there is just this faux outrage. I mean, at what point do they just stop? Do they stop? Even the other day on Lorraine, she had 3 of her friends on the sofa, and you could tell they were... No, sorry, it wasn't Lorraine. It was Vanessa Feltz. 3 of her friends on the sofa, and you could see that they all felt just ridiculous. And they did not say anything bad, actually. Even the callers that rang in, they were just like, this is ridiculous. And you can see Vanessa Phelps just straining her neck, straining her smile. Because how? How do you attack a video of a pregnant woman dancing? It's the most ridiculous thing. Even Fox News, the Fox News, did not have anything bad to say. My gosh. Anyway, they're going to have yet another heart attack because Meghan posted this photo of her frolicking on the beach. This is from the As Ever official page. So excited for all the good to come, running into the weekend like, and as ever, same vibes from her pre-royal life. The other picture of Meghan with her back to the camera is pre-royal life. Picture of her with the wind in her hair, ocean on her feet. That was posted a few days ago. The freedom, the joy, wind blowing through the hair, dress lifted up, you can see the knee. God forbid a woman's knee. Can't be having that. Can't be having knees and shoulders showing. This is the joy they wanted to steal. They want you to believe that going to garden parties where people point their noses up at you because you wore the wrong shade of yellow is better than this. It's better than having fun at Disney. Please. Okay, I'm going to read through your comments. Thank you, everyone who's streaming into the live. Appreciate having you here. Let's have a look. Hey, Church Nelly. Hey, Tamiko. Hey, Janita. Yeah, Victoria has no wisdom of herself. So why is she questioning anyone else? Shay Doll, yeah, she needs to sit down before she loses her eyelashes again. Yes, Rahini, the wisdom of Charles marrying Camilla. Nick Cookies and Cream, I question Victoria Arbiter's wisdom on reporting on an interview that she hadn't seen. Oh. Yeah, we've been telling the UK media to get over themselves for years, but now they're actually hearing it from other people's media. And that's really who they need to hear it from. Okay. Cheryl, you said, I'm not getting your notifications. I stumbled on this. Sometimes YouTube does that. If you're finding that you're not getting notifications, unsubscribe them, subscribe again, and then try putting on notifications again. That's the best way to go about it. If you find that you're not getting notified, to be honest, it's not like I pre-schedule them like well in advance. Nowadays, I tend to just schedule them like just as I've finished my slides, because then you're not waiting. And then I know that I actually have the podcast ready. But thank you so much, Cheryl. Appreciate you being here. Okay, next thing. Yeah, William was in Monaco for this thing that they're having regarding protecting the world's oceans. A bunch of millionaires went to Monaco to talk about the world's oceans while being on their yachts talking about the world's oceans. You can't make it up. But yeah, it did not go down well. It did not go down well. ITV actually had to switch off their comments. The comments that you see in the middle are actually from Chris Ship's Twitter when he posted about this. You can still see on the ITV one, you can still see the quote tweets, but you can't see the responses. I had to go to Chris Ship's Twitter to get some responses. And almost all of them were negative, by the way. And most of them were not squaddies. These are not squaddy accounts. Warrior Live said deep state puppet. There are some people on the very far right who do not like the royals. They don't like, particularly Charles, his association with the World Economic Forum, and Klaus Schwab. Y'all can go down that rabbit hole yourselves if you want to. I'm not talking about that. But that's the reason why there are some people who do not like Charles and William. You had some person saying Billy Idol jumping on another bandwagon, jetting all over the world, including London to Birmingham, Edinburgh, Norfolk. Yeah, let's listen to his Save the Planet rhetoric. He could start by stopping mad. Okay, I have no idea what that is about. Amazing how the world today listens to TV presented on royals who have no scientific knowledge whatsoever. It's quite interesting to see the difference in how both William and Harry are approaching this particular topic when it comes to the environment, or actually just in general. Actually, William is putting himself at the center of the topic, and the way in which the press are reporting on it, and they're told how to report on it in a particular way, is putting William at the center of the topic. So William the statesman, William the white knight, here to charge in and slay this environmental disaster for us. Here he is. When he speaks, the world listens. Mind you, we don't know anything about the Earthshot prize winners, what they're doing, and how much of their money that they've been given. Harry is taking a very different approach. He's putting the organizations at the center of the conversation. So with the work that he's doing with Travelist and Trip.com. And so I think it registers very differently from a PR perspective. More so when you then add to the fact that William was literally out here talking about how he was going to end homelessness, bring peace in the Middle East, and this, that, and the third. this has not been received well at all. He was there with Jason Noff, by the way. Apologies, I do not have a picture of the happy couple, but I have never seen William look this happy for a while. He was beaming with his boy Jason Noff. Beaming in a way that I never see him beaming with Kate. Oh, drip, drip, drip. The truth will come slowly but surely. Oh, by the way, today in Lancaster, the Not My King folk. Oh, I love these people. They were out protesting. They've kept their promise. They're gonna show up wherever the royals are going. Okay. Let's go to your comments and then we will get on to the next thing. Give me a sec. Stephen Black, I thought William was ending hunger in the UK. So did I. And you know, he's given all these speeches. I almost forgot to mention, where is it now? Don't let me forget this. Ah, yes. All of this we have to save the oceans. Excuse me? Can we start by saving the UK waterways? In 2024, with almost 300,000 hours of effluent poured into waterways and 50% at a 50% increase from 2023. The issue is further exacerbated by the aging infrastructure and the company's high debt, as well as the impact of climate change on rainfall events and the effectiveness of existing sewer systems. Thames Water reported a 50% increase in raw sewage discharges in 2024 compared to 2023. In 2025, there are ongoing concerns about raw sewage discharges into the Thames and other UK waterways. Thames Water, the largest water company in England, experienced a significant increase in raw sewage discharges in 2024. So he's going on about the oceans, but the waterways of England are being pumped with raw matter. This should be illegal. How is this not illegal? How is this not a bigger deal? How is this not a priority? Why isn't William standing in front of Parliament and asking them to deal with this? Why is he going off to Monaco with all the billionaires on their yachts talking about we need to save the oceans? This is what happens when you are trying to play catch up and in a one-sided competition with other people instead of doing what makes sense. Get ready to see William shaking it about somewhere. That they will find somewhere for him to shake it about. Has Notting Hill Carnival come and gone? We'll see him at Notting Hill Carnival trying to twerk to some soccer music. I can just see it coming out. All right, let's go to your comments and then we will truly go into the next thing. Just had to mention that. I almost forgot. Rahini, doesn't the king own the waterways? I believe that the Thames Water Company, to be honest, I actually don't know if it's privatized or nationalized. I don't know. But he doesn't own the waterway systems, no. He doesn't. Yes, Heather. William never learned that charity starts at home. Yes, Kate did not go to Monaco. Just Noff. They had a nice boys' weekend. Okay, I'm just trying to. Oh yeah, Heather, why would they switch off the comments for the most popular royal? Because the comments are showing that despite ridiculous YouGov polls, that he's really not that popular. Yes, he's going to have another emotional support poll come out. Lottie, you would love to see William and Kate twerking. I wouldn't. What are they going to be twerking with? You need something going on in the back to actually twerk. Okay, on to the next thing. Brooke Shields. Better get ready for the ancestors. Brooke Shields did this interview with India Hicks, who is the grandchild of Lewis Mountbatten. So there's an Aristo connection there. I don't really know what this interview was for. I don't know if she's got a podcast or something, but she did an interview with Brooke Shields. And Brooke Shields decided to bring up the event that Meghan did. It was her and Katie Couric. They had the panel. It was like a women's empowerment panel at one of these big media events. And at that panel, Katie Couric, and this is very key, asked Meghan to tell the story of when Meghan wrote the letter that had the washing machine. Oh, sorry, not the washing machine, the washing up advert change, right? So if you're a squaddy, you probably know the story. But Katie actually asked her to tell the story, and again, this was at a women's event. Okay. So Brooke Shields tells a very different version of what happened that day. About, Meghan telling the story. And she then started to say, Meghan was being so precious and telling this story about how when she was 11, blah, 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 blah. And then Brooke said, and then I interrupted and said, oh, when I was 11, I was playing a prostitute. And the whole crowd erupted. I wouldn't really say the crowd erupted. It was more like awkward laughter. But the fact that she thought that Meghan was apparently being so precious, and she thinks that what she said about playing a prostitute when she was 11 was funny. Like, this is a women's empowerment event. And you're cracking a joke about how Hollywood exploited you when you were a child because you think that Meghan was being too precious. Like, girl, if you don't sit down, it is just so obvious that this woman is jealous. It wouldn't be surprised if her and the interviewer, this India Hicks lady, were gossiping about Meghan before the interview, because the whole thing was just unnecessary. It was like she was basically saying, oh, like Meghan was being too much. She was being too precious. It was a women's empowerment event, and she spoke about a part of her girlhood where she felt very empowered. And you decided at this women's empowerment event to crack a joke about Hollywood making you play an 11-year-old prostitute. How about speaking against what Hollywood was doing? Like, the way the jealousy jumps out of these women is wild to me. It's wild. Ugh. I could never be a hater. Could never be a hater in this way. All right. I'll get through your comments and then we will get to the last story. Yeah, Brooke Shields was lying. Yeah, she had to mention Meghan so she can stay relevant. I mean, has anybody really mentioned Brooke Shields lately? That was meant to be a women's empowerment panel, and here you are being a woman hating on another woman for no reason. Rahini, you said, damn, is podcasting the Aristo job pipeline? I thought it was modeling. I mean, it's interesting because I thought that podcasting was actually beneath them. And now here they are podcasting. Yeah, Duchess Meghan was the headliner while Brooke was an add-on. She was just invited there as an add-on. And instead of being grateful, she wants to be snarky. I mean, I'm assuming maybe Brooke and Katie Couric were probably friends or something. So she asked her to come along. Yeah, Brooke needs to go heal from her exploitation, not making light of it in order to punch down on another woman. Cheryl, you said they cannot accept the fact that Meghan is very intelligent and Harry has the prize. Indeed. And the fact that Harry makes it very clear that Meghan was the prize. Meghan was the prize. Because so many of them would have put a knife in another woman's back to get the prince because they saw the prince as the prize. But now the prince is saying, no, 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 no. I had a list, and here's the list. The list is her. She was the prize. I mean, I get it. You can't even get a coffee date, and a prince left a whole country for this woman. I get why you're mad. But please get over it, because it's getting ridiculous. Hillary, I didn't even know Brooke was there. I forgot she was there. I forgot who else was on that panel. In my memory, it was Meghan alone with the interviewer. Oh my God. Okay, on to Charles. So this is in the Daily Beast. Tom Sykes, who has been a mouthpiece for Willoughboy, which makes this article even more interesting. King Charles' cancer is incurable, bombshell report suggests. The report will be unwelcome in the palace, as it will reignite speculation that the king's health is in a delicate state. Rumours that were brought to fever pitch when Prince Harry said in a BBC interview that he didn't know how long his father had left to live. I mean, the royal rotarats have been hinting at this actually for a while. King Charles will die with, but not of, cancer, a bombshell report claimed Saturday. The report essentially confirms long-standing rumours that the king's cancer is considered manageable, but ultimately incurable, which is the case for many other individuals afflicted by the disease. Charles is 76. So, yeah, this does happen that, you know, for some people, you know, they will continue to get treatment and live with the cancer until it goes into its later stages. And indeed, you know, Harry did hint at this, but the royal reporters and the leaks from the palace have been, you know, hinting at this for a while. It is just such a shame. You know, I would never, regardless of the way that Charles and others in the palace have behaved, I would never laugh at someone's illness. It's just very unfortunate that even with all of this, even as his days come to an end, Charles still cannot see sense. He cannot see sense. He doesn't want to do the bare minimum to keep his son safe, his daughter-in-law safe and their children safe. You would think at this point, God has shown you that, sickness comes to everyone. You are not anointed by God. You must be humble before him. Sickness comes to everyone. Old age comes to everyone. And it's usually at this point of life where people do humble themselves. And Charles doesn't seem to want to do that. Such a shame. Harry tried. If anything, nobody is ever going to be able to say that Harry did not try. I think even Harry himself gave his family so many chances that he probably wanted to feel like, you know what, I did everything. And his family still hasn't seen sense. And with Charles sick, they are still infighting. Mary, you said that you disagree. You don't believe that Brooke was throwing shade. I just find it interesting that she used the term Meghan was being very, precious. It was all very serious. It just, it didn't. It just kind of came across like she was taking a dig to me, because if it wasn't that she was taking a dig or being shady, I don't understand why she wouldn't have said something like, I went to this event and I was invited and Meghan was there and she told this really interesting story and we talked about women's empowerment and I think it's really interesting and, women should be supporting women. Like, it wasn't that tone. So I don't know. Fair enough, Mary, if you feel like she wasn't throwing shade, but I just felt like if she was being supportive, she would have said something else. And I'm just a bit suspicious that this was on, India, what appears to be India Hicks' podcast. Juanita, Charles still has time to make things right, but his pride and arrogance are standing in the way. Well, he's running out of time. I don't think that Harry will ever trust his family again, but I think if they wanted to come to their senses, and because I do believe that Harry is still very much a monarchist, if there were things that could be done to at least redeem the image of the monarchy, I think that Harry would, with caution, and for the sake of the monarchy, not necessarily his family, still want to find some level of reconciliation. Not in terms of they're going to be family again and we're all going to be, not that kind of thing, but just in a way that would at least make the monarchy look, help the image of the monarchy in the way that it's been very much destroyed. So I think in that way, I think Harry would still want to perhaps help. I think so anyway. I don't see anything in the way of like close family reconciliation. So if Charles wants to make things right for the sake of the monarchy, I think maybe there's still room. Maybe. But I don't even know how that would look like at this point. because they have destroyed their image so much. I think the Frankenstein photo was truly the beginning of the end. Truly the beginning of the end. Kai, you said Charles fears that after all he did to Princess D, it has come to this. Yeah. Yeah, it's sad, isn't it? It's sad. And it didn't have to be like this. William was just parading around with Jason Knopf in Monaco. Yes, I'm sorry, I don't have a picture of the happy couple. I will bring a picture of the happy couple in my next podcast. They were living their best lives. Always weekend. Okay. I need to go to bed. It is 2:30 a.m. Thank you, as always, everyone, for stopping by. Love y'all. Appreciate y'all. Don't forget to support Squatty Hooks. Rahini still has stock. And yeah, it looks like, as ever, restock with a few more things is just around the corner. Won't be too long now. All right, folks. I'll see you later. Ciao.